All right, y'all. So, as I was saying earlier, I was coloring this picture as a celebration because I took my first step into the world of professional presenting. So, at the point of this video, which y'all can tell my nails is different. It's been a minute. I presented again professionally. So I'm continuing my celebration because this is my second professional presentation that I've done successfully, and I'm just I'm glad for the opportunity to be able to do something I love. So I'm going to continue celebrating, continue planning for more. I have other professional speaking arrangements that I'm writing proposals for currently. And I'm going to tell you, this last presentation I did on mental health was for my church, for the women's side-by-side committee. So it really meant a lot to me. I just look up to these women. These are some elders in the church that have helped me and guided me as I walk. And these are some godly women. And I just wanted to help them understand mental health more. And I was just taken aback at how they received it and how open and the questions that they were asking and the information that they wanted to find out, and the life that they spoke into me. I can't even tell you how much it fed me. I was so full at the end of that presentation, and I didn't even realize that I spoke as long as I did, which I apologize, ladies, because I know y'all wasn't expecting to be there that long, but it was that fulfilling, and the women responded to it so well. So yeah, it just fueled me to keep pressing forward, y'all. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I have some things I'm working on. I'm putting some workshops together about coloring and mental health effects, and we'll have different workshops that we'll do. I'm gonna have some content that I'm working on now to put out, but I just wanted to continue this talk and just expressing the growth it took to get me here. And one of the things I had said in my talk at the church was talking about how you can have change, but unless you have growth with that change, it's not going to be as effective. So you can put into effect different steps that are going to have an effect in changing your personal appearance, changing your work habits, your productivity, but until you grow in understanding some of the, main causes that fed the need for change, you're not going to grow. Eventually you'll fall back into your old routines because you're not changing your mindset. So earlier you heard me talk about how me getting up the nerve to even present or even put a proposal in to present professionally was a journey. One thing I love about Facebook is how it brings up your memories, and just memories that I had that where I spoke about how I wanted to be a presenter would come up. And I would feel bad because I know this is something I wanted to do. It's something I enjoy doing. I enjoy teaching. And, sometimes those Facebook memories will knock you on your butt. You just like, man, I can't believe this much time has gone by. And either this hasn't changed or I'm still I'm still where I'm at. I still haven't lost that weight. I still haven't gone back to school. I still haven't took that trip. So every time a Facebook memory would come up and I would see where I talked about or maybe engaged in a seminar or something that talked about presenting or being a professional speaker, it would tug at me. So I'm glad I finally took the leap. Yes, I could have done better. There are a lot of areas I could have done way better in, but I'm proud that I did that, and I thank you. I thank everyone who supported me, who spoke life into me, and I look forward to what it's going to bring. I love how her hair is turning out. I know, like I said, this is a Coco Michelle book, and I watch her so often. She's so talented in how she brings her pictures to life. So I know she has a certain technique she does for hair, and I wish I could. I wish I could mimic it, but I cannot. So this is the best I can do. Like I said, I am not a professional colorer. I do this for pure joy. I love the peace that it gives me. It allows me to practice mindfulness and think on things that I'm working on. A lot of times I can work things out in my head that I've been concerned with, come up with plans of actions just from doing this, just from sitting here and coloring. Sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes it's just me and my thoughts. Like I said earlier, usually I do this when my mind is not at peace. And I get out a coloring book, and by the time I complete a picture, I have some peace. So it is very a coping method for me. This is the first time I've done it to celebrate, and I like it. I think I'm going to continue this. I'm not just going to focus on, you know, when I'm stressed about something. I'm going to use it when I'm celebrating things as well. And that's also a good thing to remember. When you're using coping methods, you should practice them when things are not that bad. Because when things do get bad and you try to put that coping method into practice, it's not going to be as effective. You're not going to be as good at it trying to use it under stress in the first place. And it's just not going to be as effective. So practicing your coping skills during times where you're not in distress is a good thing. If you're using breathing techniques, if you're using stretching is good because anytime you do physical movements, you're making your right and left side of your brain work together, and that helps brain function. That helps for you to process things. That just helps overall. I don't know about y'all, but I like how her hair is turning out. And I like what I call blending. So I like the different shades you can see in her hair. I got this new thing from TikTok where you can hang your camera right off your neck while you're doing whatever you're doing. And I like it. I think it turns out, it makes things so much easier and I can see exactly what I'm doing. I think that's pretty good for her hair. I think we're going to leave it at that. So what are the steps to growth? Well, first you want to recognize the need for change. You can't grow if you think that everything is, you can't grow in an area if you want to believe that everything in that area is just going fine and there's nothing at all you need to change. Don't work like that. So being truthful about what you need to change. I don't want to do her eyebrows so dark. I would say is the first step. Once you're truthful about what it is that you need to change, also be truthful about how much can you change. Don't set ridiculous limits about what you want to change. That's not going to happen. That is just not, that's setting yourself up for failure. So be realistic. Take one step at a time. Like for me, I felt like I needed to educate myself on becoming a presenter. So that's why I talked about earlier about taking seminars, reading things, seeing how do you even go about doing something like this? I knew that imposter syndrome, which is really just struggling with the confidence, was something that I struggled with. So I read up some things on that and how to manage that. I had to come up with some coping methods for myself that I found effective to address that and work on that. So there were some things I needed to work on to make that happen. But that's just my method. So whatever works for you. Once I felt like I gained enough education on it, I started putting stuff together. I started practicing. I started writing stuff down of what I wanted to talk on. I started breaking it down. Um, you know, watching other people talk and see how they did what they did. And then I just wrote my proposal, took the plunge, and girl, or people, let me tell you, the day I got that acceptance email, you would have thought I won the lottery. I was overwhelmed that someone read my proposal and said, yes, this is something I think would fit well with this symposium. This is something I think other people would benefit from hearing. I was taken aback, y'all. Yep. So while we're speaking about growth, I think I'm going to get into these flowers. So I'm going to pick what kind of colors I want to use for these flowers. I like using different mediums. So I think I'm going to use a little bit of gel pen. I might use some markers. And yeah, I think I'm going to use some markers and some gel pens for the foliage. So I'm going to pick those and we'll continue.